Grow a Garden is currently the biggest Roblox game, having millions of players playing it every day and getting new Roblox records one after another almost every week. And recently, the game hit over 16 million concurrent players, which made it not only the biggest game on Roblox, but in the entire world. Before Grow a Garden was a thing, Blox Fruits was the game to reach highest concurrent player count on Roblox, but now Grow a Garden multiplied that by almost 6 times. And I don't know about you, but every time a record like this has been set by Grow a Garden, it felt like it wouldn't get any crazier, but then it did, and not once, but multiple times at this point. I would be surprised if you haven't at least joined it once still, because it has been played by over 170 million different users, as it can be seen based on how many have gotten badges for joining. But shortly, this game is about buying seeds, growing the plants and potentially getting mutations on them, selling crops to get more currency and repeat. But you also got stuff like pets, which will give you different boosts and which you also need to feed. You also got cosmetics, or decorations that you can use to build a better-looking garden, and you also got crafting as a slightly more complex way of getting something cool instead of just buying it for currency. Basically, the game does have some variation to the gameplay, and what's crazy about this game is how it gets more players every single day than what Blox Fruits Record used to be. It just casually has over 3 million players while I'm making this video. And something else about this game is that, yes, it is bought by two big studios, and you can see it on their website, but they only own 25% of it, meaning the rest of the game is controlled by Jandel, who's also responsible for the updates. But anyway, remember how I mentioned that Blox Fruits was the biggest game on Roblox before Grow a Garden? Now, which game was the biggest one before Blox Fruits? Adopt Me. That game actually was holding the record for having the highest concurrent players for years. You can see how Blox Fruits got a new record only about 3.5 years later, which kind of shows how crazy numbers were in Adopt Me back in the day. I mean, it was the first ever game to get over 1 million concurrent players too, and it did that over 5 years ago in 2020. And I want to bring Adopt Me because its history is actually somewhat similar to the one Grow a Garden is currently making. So Adopt Me was just an average popular game in terms of how popular it was back in early 2019. 6.7 thousands might not look much, but having this many players in March 2019 was considered good. And just 3 months later, now in June 2019, Adopt Me hit its first really big record, getting 430,000 players. And you know what reaction people had? Because of how insane the player count was, many were saying that those were just bots, and that the game does not deserve its popularity. And I think it's becoming more obvious as to why I even decided to bring Adopt Me in a video about Grow a Garden. We're basically seeing the exact same reaction people had to Adopt Me, but now with Grow a Garden. And Adopt Me continued to break the records, getting over 600,000 of players at the end of 2019, and then, as I already said earlier, getting over 1 million players in early 2020. Even right now, getting 1 million players in a game is an insane milestone, and only 9 games ever got there. And that's with the fact that the monthly users have increased by a lot since 2020 on Roblox. In October 2020, when it was getting yet another record, you can actually see the difference between Adopt Me and 2 other games. And the difference is really big, more than 10 times the player count of Bloxburg. Basically, what I've been trying to say is that Grow a Garden in some way is a modern version of Adopt Me. Both have been setting some crazy records, and both were getting very similar type of hate. And I feel like if Adopt Me would have had this much hype, but today, it probably would have gotten over 5 million concurrent players. Just think about it. I will use Bee Swarm Simulator as an example, because this game have been relevant since 2018. So back when Bee Swarm used to constantly get updated, it would have 10,000s of players. And right now, if you were to check its player count on Rolemans, you will see how with every year the player count only got bigger, also showing how Roblox have gained more and more users. And let's say, a game having 10,000s of players in 2018 is probably as insane as a game having 100,000s of players now in 2025. And as I already mentioned earlier, Adopt Me remained as the leader for highest concurrent player count record for more than 3.5 years, until Blox Fruits beat that by almost 1 million in late December 2024. And obviously, people had the same reaction here too, wondering why this game even got so many players in the first place. And when thinking Blox Fruits would be on the throne for at least 2 years, just like Adopt Me, we got Grow a Garden. And this game completely destroyed multiple records, including the concurrent player count one, of course. The difference is that, in this case, the records are being broken almost every week, while Adopt Me took months between record-breaking concurrent player counts. Anyway, the main question of this video is, why Grow a Garden might never get beaten by any other Roblox game? I mean, obviously, the 16 million player count by itself is already insane, because that's more than what Roblox gets daily. But the game itself is being handled in a very good way to get as many people as possible to join it and play at the same time. It's not about the update itself, it's about what happens before and possibly even after the update is out. Developers will always generate different events like the black hole one while everyone is waiting for an update. What's so special about it? Well, not only that's basically a lot of free currency for players, but in this case, this was the first black hole event in the game. The same have happened with the Sun God event. As example, you don't want to miss out on the new stuff and especially free stuff that comes before the update is even out. And you know how often games restart to update the servers? Well, here everything happens live, meaning the game won't lose any players because of kicking everyone out. This B update even had an animation prepared, and just like that, the new content was here without any restarts happening. And you probably have seen clips with many kids actually celebrating Grow a Garden updates, which looks pretty insane, but also shows that a lot of people join Roblox specifically to play an update in Grow a Garden. That's also why we've been seeing some insane total Roblox concurrent player count records, last one being almost 26 million. People who already been playing Roblox all just join on the same time for a specific update. And I already went over the game and what it is shortly, but what everyone needs are mutations on their crops. And admins love to spam different expensive events before an update is out, therefore you can see player count begin to increase already 2 hours before the update. But what about bots? Does this game have them? It's not even a question. Every AFK grinding game has bots, especially Pet Simulator and Bubblegum Simulator. Grow a Garden does have bots, mostly in full servers though. People also speculate that bots can hide in VIP servers since they are free, but I doubt that means the game is heavily botted. Like for example, these waves in the player count suggest that people join and leave all the time. The exact same waves happen with the Roblox total concurrent player graph, as well as Fortnite one you can see colored blue below. We also had ban waves which affected bots since they use exploits. While it's noticeable how, for example, Bubblegum Simulator lost players, we don't see that with Grow a Garden. Anyway, I actually doubt we'll ever see any other game on Roblox get more players than Grow a Garden. This game is made in a way where anyone can play it and even enjoy it, while having developers who engage with the community and does fun stuff for the players. The reason games, such as fighting, despite being higher quality, won't ever actually get nearly as many players. It wasn't made for everyone, but only a specific group of people that enjoy this game genre. Grow a Garden, on the other hand, is made in a very simple way, allowing anyone to play it. It expanded instead of only being about planting plants, which also makes it more fun and less repetitive. And just like Adopt Me, it will remain as the highest concurrent player count game for years, possibly even never getting beaten. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. Join my Discord server. You can chat with me and other members. The link is in description, and I will see you soon.